Fantastic.
It's wonderful.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Hey, it's Sue.
And Megan in the restricted section.
And today we're doing the much loved, much anticipated favorite books of 2017 video.
Woo! We are. And we are going to drink this, oh dear,
Oak-aged Siracusa Nera
by Dogfish Head. I can say the name of the brewing company.
And it's, I think, a Russian imperial stout with Syrah grape must added.
Must? Okay.
So it's 10% alcohol by volume, so it's a little strong.
So here we go.
It's good. You can definitely taste like the grapiness.
Yeah. That's really good.
Yeah, it's good though.
I likes it.
But strong.
Very strong. Packs a punch.
It does. I guess I'll go in the order I read them.
Well, then this is my first book on my list too.
We can talk about it together then.
Yeah.
So we both have the Xenogenesis series by Octavia Butler. I don't think this is going to be a surprise to anyone who may have watched our videos before. I believe both of us only read the second two books this year.
I think that's correct, yeah.
For me, like because this is a it's a trilogy. There's 3 books in one here. And for me, each book was progressively better, I thought.
I think so.
The last book, Imago, was my favorite of the 3. And it was just so good. And this is about a woman who wakes up on an alien ship and discovers that there had been like nuclear war on Earth and everyone was dying, and these aliens swooped in and saved like as many humans as they could, but now they want to interbreed.
Right. And kind of create a new species.
Yeah, and there's some resistance.
There's some bite back
to that idea. Yeah, I just thought it was fucking amazing. Like,
yeah, I loved it. Like, it was fucking brilliant.
This might be my favorite series of all time that I've ever read.
I could pretty easily get on board with that.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, I would love to reread this.
Me too. It was so good. Because to me, like, the third book... I just
realized this wasn't mine, and I was, like, unbending things. Oh. This is your copy, so I was like, oh, maybe she wanted that bent.
Oh, you can unbend it. But yeah, to me, like, the third book really made the whole series.
Yeah.
Like, I read the third book, and I went back and gave all the other ones 5 stars just because I felt like it tied the series together super well. I don't know, it made the series for me.
Yeah,
so
they were very good. Like, I cannot recommend this series highly enough. But it is, I mean, there's weird alien shit in it.
Right.
Weird alien sex. So just be prepared for that.
Right. But I mean, look beyond it, because this book says a lot of really like deep
important
stuff.
Things about, you know, gender roles, reproduction, xenophobia, things like that.
So look past the weird alien sex, please.
Yeah.
So then, well, I guess we can just talk about this one together too.
Yeah, our next one is the same also.
Which is Beloved by Toni Morrison. It's about this woman who escaped from slavery, and she's living in Ohio after the Civil War, and she's kind of, I guess, maybe coming to terms with a choice that she made, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, this book was really well written, and it was beautifully written, but it was really dark.
Oh yeah. It's a pretty small book, but there's like so much packed into here that I feel like I could read it over and over again and find new things and new meanings in it. Yeah. So it's just like, I thought it was like brilliant.
It was so good, and I was tired after I read it. Like, I was emotionally drained.
Yeah. It is harrowing, that's for sure. And very dark, very difficult to read emotionally. Yeah, I'd say.
Definitely.
And kind of difficult to read also, because it's just so strange.
It is very strange.
But it was very, very good. Extremely good.
Extremely good.
Gave it 5 stars. I gave the Xenogenesis series 5 stars as well.
Yeah, same. I loved those books.
Next, I put The Lord of the Rings on my list. And this is just the first book, and it's Megan's. but I'm just going to count the whole series as like one, and, you know, kind of throw The Hobbit in there too, because I reread that this year as well. and loved it again the second time. And these were technically a reread for me too, but it'd been since I was like probably 12 years old that I read them, so it was kind of like reading them for the first time again. And a buddy read them all with Jessica and Christina over at Game of Tomes, and that was like a lot of fun. They're super great. And yeah, I really loved the series, and I'm really glad because I was kind of nervous to reread it because I loved it as a kid. But I was like, oh, what if I reread it and I don't like it and I don't like it as much? But luckily, I still really enjoyed it, and it was just, I mean, who doesn't love Lord of the Rings, really?
I mean, come on.
It's so good. It's
so good. All right, and then next on my list is a graphic novel, I guess. I'm still unclear as to what to call them, but it's Anathema by Rachel Deering. It was just a really cool story. It's a story of two women who are in love, and one of the women's fathers is a like puritanical minister, and he catches them together and burns one of them at the stake, and her soul escapes and is snatched up by this like bird thing. And so the other one turns into a werewolf to rescue her soul.
Yeah, it's a really cool graphic novel.
Yeah, and the artwork is beautiful.
I really hope that she does a second one.
Me too, because
it's been a while and there's still no second one, and the story was definitely not over.
No, it definitely had more to go.
Yeah,
I loved it.
It kind of reminded me of like a video game.
Yeah,
because she like meets these bosses kind of that she has to defeat, you know?
Like a boss fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like that one too. I read it last year though, so it's
awesome.
not on my list.
It occurs to me that I think I have it because I bought it and I didn't go grab it, but that's okay. Whatever.
And next on my list is also a graphic novel, and that is Bitch Planet.
Oh, so good.
Book 2, You Can't Jail the Revolution by Kelly Sue DeConnick. And I think the art is by Valentine Delandro. Yeah, I read book 1 last year and really liked it, but I think book 2 was better.
I agree.
I think it was fucking awesome. And Bitch Planet, if you don't know, I feel like everyone pretty much knows what this is, but this is like a dystopian graphic novel or comic book series where if women commit any sort of indiscretion at all, they get sent to this big women's prison called on this other planet called Bitch Planet. Yeah, in the series, the women are kind of rising up and resisting. Yeah,
it's really fucking good, and I think the artwork is super cool.
Mm-hmm. I like the artwork a lot too.
Yeah, it's pretty bitchin'.
Bitch Planet is pretty bitchin'.
Pretty bitchin'. Next on my list is Difficult Women by Roxanne Gay. This is a collection of short stories, and I just really fucking loved it. Like, they were I don't think there were any stories in here there was maybe one that I didn't care for as much, but I loved these. Like, I think that they all say something, really important, and they're about a lot of different kinds of women going through a lot of different, very real scenarios, and I liked it a lot too. But yeah, I love Roxanne Gay. I think she's pretty awesome.
And next on my list is, I think this was the only, these are all books that I gave 5 stars, and I think this was all 5 of these books or series are the only things that I gave 5 stars this year. Yeah, including like all the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit.
Right.
But my last one is Bird Box by Josh Mallerman, and again, I'm sure everyone has heard of this one because it's gone around BookTube already. But it's a horror, it's like a psychological horror novel where there's something outside that if you look at it, you will go insane and kill yourself. And so this is about a woman who has to take her 2 children like 20 miles down this river to a like safe, what she hopes is a safe spot, blindfolded, because they can't chance seeing this thing and going insane. And it's just, it flips back and forth from, the past when this whatever it is first showed up, and things started to go awry, and then her living in this house with, sort of a safe house with other people, and then what happened there, and then to the present of her like trying to get her and her kids safely to this other safe house. And like that's not really a unique story, manner of storytelling, but I think it was done really well.
It was, yeah, I agree.
Just the whole concept was pretty interesting and unique. And there was kind of a few moments in there where I was like, blind people exist. Because there was like a part where she's like, how can I tell my children that that they can reach for the stars when they can't even see them? It's like, well, what about blind kids?
Blind kids?
But that whole, it's kind of addressed later.
Yeah, they do kind of address it later.
Yeah. But I don't want to like give everything away, but this was it was really fast paced, really just sucked me in, and I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah, it was
liked it a lot.
Creepy and ominous.
Very creepy.
I loved it.
But in a kind of, like a kind of subtle way.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I didn't realize how creepy it was until I had like finished reading it, because I think I read it in a day, and then I set it down, and I woke up the next morning and was afraid to look outside. Like it's sneaky creepy. Like I didn't realize how creepy it was until later.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't look outside.
It's really good.
All right. So last on my list is Never Let Me Go by Katsuo Ishiguro. Ishiguro. I can't say this name. I'm never gonna say it. I suck at pronouncing things. I tried really hard. This book fucked me up, y'all. Like, this book really fucked me up. It is a dystopian-ish novel, and it's about these people who are raised to basically be organ donors. I don't want to give away, like, the whole plot of the book, but...
Yeah, don't, because I haven't read it yet.
Man, this book fucked me up. Emotionally in my feelings.
Emotionally in your feelings.
In my feelings. There's a movie that was made from this book, and I haven't watched it yet, but I'd like to. But I highly recommend this book. It was really, like, I thought it was really well written. Yeah, like I said, it was just kind of an emotional roller coaster.
I really want to read it. I own it. I've had it for a while, but I haven't read it yet.
You should read it, because it's very good. And maybe it will fuck you up as much as it fucked me up.
Probably. I have an honorable mention that I wanted to talk about, because I didn't give this book 5 stars. I gave it 4 stars. Maybe I shortchanged it a little bit. Because I really, really enjoyed it, and I think I wasn't really expecting that when I went into it, which is maybe why it stuck with me more, because it's like when you're not expecting it to be great, it's like...
It surprises you, and you're like, oh, yeah.
But that's The Chrysalids by John Wyndham, and this is, again, like, we love our dystopian, obviously.
Novels.
Because this is a dystopian novel where it's set in this village where any person, animal, plant, whatever it may be, has any kind of deformity. They are, in the case of plants and animals, they're destroyed. In the case of humans, you don't really know what happens to them. They don't really say. It isn't like explicitly stated like what exactly is going on, but you kind of glean that it's set in like the future when there's been some sort of like nuclear apocalypse, and so there's like, I think like the radiation caused deformities.
Okay.
And so they kind of like, luckily the Bible survived.
Oh good. Oh good.
But it's kind of a distorted version, and I feel like it kind of makes a statement about Christianity now in a way. I don't know if that was intentional, but like they took like a small part of it and blew it out of proportion, which I feel is, kind of
much how it works. Yeah.
So they took this small part that might have even been a misquote from the Bible that had something to do with like how humans have to be perfectly formed or whatever. And so to them, any kind of deformity was like a sin, sort of, or like an abomination. And so the main character of this story and his cousin have a deformity, I guess you could call it, but it's not physical. So they're able to keep it hidden for a long time. And then it comes to a point where they realize that they're probably going to have to leave the village because they're going to be found out. And then they don't know what's going to happen to them after that. I really, really liked it, and I really want to read Day of the Triffids, because I've heard a lot of people say they like that one better than this. So I really want to read that and see how it is. But that was my honorable mention.
I also have an honorable mention, and it is more Octavia Butler, and no one was surprised. This is Bloodchild by Octavia Butler, and this is a collection of short stories that she wrote. And I really loved it because I feel like it's a really good sampling of her work, because I think that a lot of her books are kind of, like, you can see glimpses of them in here. So, like, if you want to get a feel for Octavia Butler, I think this is a good starter because you can kind of see, you know, some of the things that she writes. And I love her. She's one of my favorite authors, so I mean, can't go wrong with Octavia Butler.
Yeah, I want to read that collection. Those were our favorites of 2017. Let us know below what you think of our favorites and what are your favorites.
Yes.
And this beer is pretty good.
It is pretty good.
It's strong.
It's strong, but
it packs a punch.
It's pretty delightful.
But it tastes good.
It does. It tastes quite good.
It definitely tastes grapey.
Mm-hmm. As usual, there'll be some links down below where you can find us elsewhere on social media.
And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.